You know that feeling that you are waiting for something big, but you don't know exactly what it is? That love seems like a mirage and prosperity a distant dream? Maybe you have already felt forgotten or wondered if life has something more for you. If this is your pain, if your heart yearns for a profound change, you have come to the right place. Because today, we are going to reveal that it is not by chance that you are here. Predestined, get ready. Your great love and absolute wealth are coming. The entire universe is conspiring in your favor, and yes, your love and wealth are coming now. Embrace this truth because the solution to your wait is about to manifest. God's perfect timing and special preparation for your soulmate. You know when you're expecting something really cool like a surprise gift and it never seems to arrive, you end up thinking, did they forget about me? Did this gift even exist? Well, life with God is a little like that, but in a much more magical way and with a perfect plan. Imagine that every moment of your life, every joy and even every sadness is like a piece of a giant puzzle that God is putting together. And the most incredible thing is that He is putting it together to take you to a wonderful place full of good things, including a very special person in your life. Remember those times when you felt alone, kind of left out, while everyone else seemed to be having fun, dating, getting married, thriving? It felt like you were in a secluded corner, right? That feeling of, is there something wrong with me? Am I not good enough to have love? Why does everyone find someone else except me? It's completely normal to feel that way. And God saw each of your thoughts, each tear you may have shed on the pillow, each sigh of exhaustion. But here comes the most surprising and loving part. You were not alone or forgotten. God was actually watching over you. Think of a fruit that needs to stay quiet on the tree for a while to ripen and become sweet and tasty, or a plant that needs to stay as a seed underground in the dark to gain strength and then sprout beautiful and strong. This was your season of solitude. It was not a punishment. It was a gift, secret and super important preparation. You were being preserved, protected from relationships that weren't good for you, from people who could hurt you or hold you back. God was cleansing your heart of everything that made you doubt your worth, that made you believe you were less than you really are. He was teaching you to love yourself first, to understand that your happiness doesn't depend on anyone but Him and yourself. He was showing you how strong, loyal, and valuable you are, even when it seemed like no one noticed. This hiding that God gave you served many purposes. One of them was helping you see the world in a different way, to understand people in a deeper way. You learned to read between the lines, to feel what was not said, to realize who really cares and who doesn't. It's as if your spiritual eyes became super sharp. You became wiser, more patient, and more mature. And why all this? Because the love that God has for you is not just any love. It is not a love that is rushed, that sprouts and then withers. It is a love that needs to be built calmly, deeply, with strong roots. It is a love that cannot be rushed, because it is too great to be rushed. It is divinely planned. So this waiting that you have been experiencing, all the times you felt alone, were actually God working behind the scenes, preparing the ground and preparing you for something extraordinary. He was orchestrating every detail, like a conductor rehearsing a beautiful symphony. And this symphony is about to begin, with the arrival of a person who will fit perfectly into your life, like the last piece of your puzzle, and who will change everything for the better. It is a movement, divine, no perfect time of God, and it was no accident or coincidence that this message reached you now. The arrival of someone wealthy and with a special purpose of love. Wow. If the first topic got you excited, get ready, because the second one is even more exciting. After all that special preparation, after you have become this stronger and wiser person, God is ready to introduce you to someone. But not just anyone, okay? It is someone who was made tailor-made for you. Think about it this way. You know when you order a really cool, detailed toy, and it comes with all the right pieces, ready to be assembled and bring you lots of joy? This person who is coming is like that, only much more incredible and real. God is sending into your life not only a soulmate, who is someone you connect with in a super deep way, as if you've known each other from other lives, but also a destination partner. What does this mean? That this person doesn't just come to love you and keep you company. He or she comes towed to your life in a way you can't even imagine, to walk side by side with you in your greatest dreams and goals. And here comes a part that many people love. This person will be wealthy. When we hear this, the first thing that comes to mind is money, right? And yes, That may be included, but the video makes it clear that her wealth goes far beyond what she has in her bank account. This person is rich in faith. That is, she has a strong connection with God, believes in good things, and has a special light inside. She is rich in character, which means that she is an honest, upright, trustworthy person who always tries to do the right thing. And she is also rich in understanding. That is, she is mature, knows how to listen, understands the feelings of others and her own. You know what's even cooler? This person will raise. She doesn't come to compete with you, to diminish you, or to make you feel small. On the contrary, she comes to push you up there, to motivate you to be the best version of yourself. She will be like a shield, protecting your heart from anything that could hurt you, and will invest in your vision. This means that she will believe in your dreams as much as you do, and will help you make them come true. If you have a project, an idea, a desire, she will be there to support you and build it together. And you know that talk about relocation? It's not just about moving house or city, although that can happen too. It's our location bigger. It's like you're moving to a different level in life, a place you've never been before. Our location spiritual and emotional. Imagine that you were in a familiar room, but now God is taking you to a more spacious place, with a beautiful view and full of new possibilities. This person will be one of the means that God will use to take you to this new and incredible realm of experiences. In short, this coming soulmate is a complete gift. Not only does it bring love and companionship, but it also brings wisdom, faith, maturity, and resources in every sense, so that you both can grow and live a full, purposeful life. It is the promise of a love that propels you forward, that makes you blossom, and that takes you to places you have always dreamed of. Why was alone time so important? God's secret classroom. Do you know when we need to be quiet in our room to think or to concentrate on something important, or when a plant needs some time in the shade to recover and then go out into the sun? Well, the time you spent alone was exactly that, a period of special and secret preparation that God has planned for you. It felt like you were in a desert, didn't it? Those moments when the silence was so loud it seemed like screaming, and you wondered if God had forgotten about you. While you saw other people celebrating achievements, weddings, promotions, you were behind the scenes of life. You were there quietly, going through battles that no one saw, growing inside, learning, and even crying in secret. But here's the big truth. You weren't being punished. You were being prepared. God called you to a time of separation on purpose, not because you didn't deserve company or love, but because He needed to cleanse you of everything that tried to convince you that you were less than you really are. You know those bad ideas that we sometimes buy into, that we're not good enough, pretty enough, smart enough? God wanted to take all of that away from you. He wanted rewire your way of seeing things, how you saw yourself, how you saw other people, and most importantly, how you saw Him. When we are more alone, without so much distraction and noise from the world, we begin to listen to ourselves better, to understand what really matters. It is as if your true essence, the one that God placed in you, begins to shine brighter. In your solitude, which is a nice way of saying time alone, but in a good way, your spiritual vision became more acute. You learned to feel what was not said, to perceive what people tried to hide. You learned the value of God's presence and your own presence. You discovered what it is to be true peace, not the kind that only appears when everything is perfect, but a peace that comes from within, that nothing shakes because you are connected to God. You stopped chasing things that were never meant for you. You stopped insisting on relationships that only liked your potential, what you could be, but couldn't handle the process, what you were living and learning. You no longer wanted superficial connections. You wanted something deep, something that would touch your soul. You realized that it's much better to walk alone in truth than to be surrounded by people who drain your energy. His isolation was like a classroom of heaven. There, you learned to recognize what is fake, not just in people but in opportunities, in thoughts, in systems. The old you might have accepted a smile that hid a lie, a compliment that disguised control, or an opportunity that promised success but would cost you your soul. But the new you? Oh, the one who sees more clearly, feels more deeply, knows better. God needed to separate you, to sanctify, to teach you what true love is, starting with His love for you, to show you what true joy is, even when money was tight or the bed was cold. He awakened you to a life that is not guided by the approval of others, but by your own purpose. What now? Now you're not just cured, you're wise. You're not just standing, you're rooted. You're not just waiting, you're prepared. You're ready to walk with someone who not only admires your brilliance but understands the fire it took to create it. You're ready to build with someone who won't mistreat your gentleness or mock your strength. You've become the person your younger self prayed you would be, and now heaven is aligning you with someone who's been through the same process. This was not isolation, it was incubation. And now, the time to reveal yourself has come. Have you already taken a look and seen if you are subscribed to the channel? Only here will you have the messages that will change your life and make you prosper, your soulmate's character, and the purpose you will share. How cool that you're ready to dive deeper into this journey. After all you've learned and grown, God is preparing you to meet someone who is so much more than they seem. Think about it this way. You know when you see a beautiful gift on the outside, with a bow and shiny paper, but when you open it, what's inside isn't so nice. Or when you buy a piece of clothing that looks perfect in the window, but when you put it on, it doesn't fit right or the fabric isn't good. Well, you've been through situations like that in your life, haven't you? You've met people who looked one way but were another on the inside. People who had a pretty smile but their hearts weren't so good. People who promised the world, but their promises were gone. These experiences, even though they were a little boring or even painful, were a divine training for you. Every time you've been disappointed, your glasses have become cleaner. Your ability to see what's real and what's a facade has become sharper. It's like you've gained a superpower of discernment to know the difference between gold and what only looks like gold. And now God is sending someone who is refined. What does this mean? That this person has also gone through their own trials, their own deserts and prunings, difficult times that make us grow. They don't just come with good things, they come with maturity. Her wealth, as we said before, is not just money. This person's true wealth is in wisdom that she gained in life, in peace that she carries in her heart, and in purpose that moves her. She did not build her life by making noise or showing off. She built it in silence, praying, moving away from what was not good to get closer to God. When this person arrives, he will not bring trouble, but rather clarity. Her spirit will bring peace, no pressure. She's not coming to impress you, to show you how good she is. She's coming to join you, to be a complement for your calling, to be by your side in your purposes and in God's promises for your life. This person understands sacrifice, has said no to many distractions, and has walked alone until God's timing aligned their path with yours. When you meet, their spirit will know, just as yours will. There will be no ego, that thing about thinking you're better than others, but rather empathy, the ability to understand and feel what the other feels. There will be no empty conversations, but rather a truth that has already been tested by life. Your strength will not scare her. On the contrary, it will attract her. Your light will not intimidate her. It will help you shine even brighter. When this person invests in you, it will be something that comes from a place of transshipment. She has so much she wants to share, and not an obligation. She understands that love is much more than a feeling. It is a divine function, something that God uses to accomplish great things. She won't waste your time or play with your heart. She's already made peace with her past and is fully present for the future, with you in it. You won't have to diminish yourself to make her feel strong. You won't have to explain why you keep your peace or protect your energy. She'll understand, because she's had to do it too. She's faced battles you can't even imagine and will recognize the warrior in you right away. Her financial abundance, whatever it may be, is not the main prize, but rather a part of God's plan, a divine tool to fund your vision, support your mission, and open doors that lack of resources has tried to close. She will use this wealth wisely, not to control but to build together with you. You are not receiving a savior, you already have one in God, but rather a partner, one builder of the kingdom, someone spiritually equal to you, someone who not only keeps up with your pace but who matches your purpose. And together you will not just build a life, you will establish a legacy that will last for generations. This is not just the beginning of a love story, it is the next chapter of your divine mission. Heaven has orchestrated this moment. Now that you have matured and aligned, you are ready for a love that multiplies your impact and magnifies your mission. This is divine time. That's it, destination, and everything is on time. You won't have to force this connection. God writes the best love stories. How wonderful to continue this conversation. We have reached a very important point, which will bring you enormous relief if you have ever felt tired of fighting for love. You know when we try to fit a puzzle piece into the wrong place? We push, force, try in many ways, but it just won't fit, right? And if we force too much, we can even ruin the piece or the puzzle. With relationships, sometimes we do the same thing. We try to make it work with someone who clearly doesn't fit, and this only brings headaches, sleepless nights, and a lot of confusion in our hearts. But here's the good news. When God writes your love story, it's totally different. There is no such thing as forcing, manipulating, having to show yourself, or begging to be seen and loved. On the contrary, when the right person comes along, the person God has set aside for you, everything will flow. It will be like water flowing down a mountain, smooth and effortless. It will fit perfectly, and you will have a sense of peace that you have never felt before. This new connection won't come disguised as chaos, drama, or a giant question mark hanging over your head. It won't drain your energy or make you wonder if you're too much for someone. No. This time it will come with clarity, calm and peaceful heart, and with a peace so great that it will calm all the storms you have ever experienced inside. You won't have to chase, beg for attention, or convince this person of your worth. They will recognize your spirit before she even understands your story. It's as if her soul says, "Hey, I know you. I've been waiting for you." She will see God's hand in your life before you even begin to tell your testimony. This is not a connection based solely on beauty or having a similar lifestyle. It is something much deeper. It is a divine design, a connection created by God Himself. You will have a mutual search, not a one-sided pursuit. There will be mutual effort, not a one-sided exhaustion. The growth will be mutual, not a constant need to fix the other. You will feel safe not only physically, but emotionally, spiritually, and energetically. This person will understand your limits, respect your sensitivity, and honor your healing journey. Why? Because they have also walked their own journey. They will ask deep questions, will want to know your heart, not just your past. And when you talk, she will to listen for real, not to answer, but to understand. You will pray together, heal together, laugh a lot, grow freely, love openly, and build what none of you could do alone. The kind of connection God sends doesn't require you to sacrifice your peace for the sake of the relationship. It won't ask you to dim your light to protect someone's ego. It won't come dressed up in confusion pretending to be passion. It will kind, it will be sacred, it will be unquestionable. And even if this relationship takes you to faraway places, requires moving house, rebuilding, or leaving what is comfortable, it will still feel likely. Because home is not always a place, it is alignment, is the presence of divine peace wrapped in the form of a person. And you will know, you will feel it deep in your soul when it is the right person. So let this message be a reminder. Anything that needs to be forced, explained over and over, or begged for, it is not from God. When it is truly meant for you, it will not lead you astray. When the time is right, it will enter your life. With grace at the right time and with many confirmations. Rest in this truth, heal yourself in that truth, wait in that truth, because what is for you is not delayed, it is being prepared. If you are receiving this message, leave it in the comments. I receive it. Your value will be recognized, not ignored. I'm glad you're ready for the 6th step of this journey. This topic is about something very important, your value. You know when you have a toy or an object that is very special, like a rare jewel, but you give it to someone who doesn't know how much it's worth? That person may even like the toy and play with it, but they don't treat it with the care it deserves. They might even drop it on the floor or store it in a haphazard way. They simply don't understand the treasure they have in their hands. For a long time you may have felt this way, surrounded by people who perhaps enjoyed your company, your smile, your joy, but who they didn't understand its essence. They benefited from your light, your energy, your kindness, but they didn't know how to protect that light or how to care for the source from which so much goodness came in you. It was as if they drew water from your well, but never asked how deep it was, or if you needed water too. And because of this, at some point you may have asked yourself, is my value invisible? Am I too much for this world? Too sacred for people to understand me? The truth is that your value was never the problem. The problem was, there's their capacity. They just weren't ready or equipped to see the greatness of who you really are. You were a rare treasure in the wrong hands, a precious soul planted in temporary soil, which was not ideal for you to truly grow. But the most incredible thing is that, even with all these situations in which you were not valued as you deserved, you has not lost its light. On the contrary, you just became more aware of who really deserves your presence, your attention, and your affection. Those who did not understand the depth of your soul did not have the capacity to honor it. And now, what is God doing? He is putting you in a position, on a path, where you will find Horally values you. He's sending someone different. This person will not only admire your strength, they will understand the price you paid to be so strong. She won't just praise your spirit, she'll honor him. This soulmate will not be blind to your brilliance. He or she will value every little piece of you, the way you say nice things to others, the way you care, your graceful leadership, and your deep love. She won't just see you as a person, but she'll see the divine purpose that moves through you. She will notice the little things, your silent prayers, your quiet sacrifices, the way you always think of others first, the wisdom that lies in your silence, the fire of your faith. She will see your beauty not just in your appearance, but in your character, your consistency, your conviction. You won't have to convince her of your worth. It will be obvious to her because God will reveal it. She will know exactly who you are because her spirit will recognize yours. And when that person comes, she will not take it from you to feel powerful. She will invest in you so that your cup will never be empty again. She will speak to the king or queen within you, not because you asked, but because she recognizes the greatness you carry. This love will be healer, affirmer, restorer. He will remind you that you were never too much, but rather simply too sacred for people who didn't know how to deal with what is holy. Your new chapter in life will not be built on appearances or having to prove something. It will be built on mutual respect, divine timing, and a deep spiritual awareness. You will feel safe in that person's presence. You will feel seen without having to shout. You will be valued, not only for what you do, but for who you are at your core. This time, you won't have to diminish yourself to fit anyone's expectations. You'll be allowed to grow up and become the person you were always meant to be. This time, your light will not be treated as a burden. It will be honored as the divine gift that it truly is. Prepare to receive what you've prayed for. Your harvest has arrived. We have reached the last and perhaps most exciting point of this incredible message. After all the preparation, growth, and revelations, it is time to talk about reward. You know those nights when your heart was heavy, and you whispered in the dark asking, God, are you listening to me? You weren't asking for just any love, you were asking for a divine alignment. It wasn't for perfection, but for something real, a connection where your spirit could rest, a relationship that felt like home and heaven at the same time. You asked for someone who would not just come into your life, but build with you, grow with you, and heal with you. Someone who would not fear your depth, but would willingly dive into it. And now this prayer is turning into reality. Heaven has heard you and answered you. You are entering a phase of life where what you have longed for is becoming your reality. Your patience is being rewarded, and your inner healing is creating a beautiful harmony in your outer life. You're not just getting a person, you're getting a confirmation of God. He is about to put someone in your life who reflects everything He has promised. This person will not come with games, will not bring confusion, will not reopen old wounds that you have worked so hard to heal. No, he will come with clarity, with honor, with presence. Her words will match her actions. Her love will be felt in her silence as well as her words, and her energy will say, I was sent to you. This person does not come empty-handed. She brings more than romance. She brings vision, direction, protection. She comes with movement, ready to help you level up, build, and step into the version of yourself that God always intended you to be. Your lonely nights are making way for purposeful days. Your planting seeds phase is giving way to a harvest phase. You are about to enter places you once only prayed to see. You are about to love and be loved without fear. You are about to enter into a partnership that reflects heaven itself. But here's the key. You need to prepare. Prepare your heart, make space, let go of old ties, ties that no longer serve you, and limiting beliefs. Make space not only in your schedule, but in your soul. Because what is coming demands it. Capacity. It's not just a restoration, it's elevation. This is yours answered prayer walking towards you. This is your divine promise becoming flesh and blood. This is love as God intended it, holy, healing, and supported by heaven. Then be ready, be expectant, and stay aligned, because what you prayed for is no longer a distant hope. It is knocking at your door with a purpose in its hands and your name in its heart. Chosen one, your season of isolation has come to an end. Your prayers are being answered, your steps are being guided, and your heart is about to experience a level of love and stability that only God could orchestrate. It's time to believe again, to hope again, to open your heart and prepare yourself not just for love, but for our location that will transform your entire life in divine alignment. God is not just sending a soulmate, He is sending a destination partner that will take you to your next chapter. And it's happening soon. You've waited, you've healed, you've grown, and now heaven is answering. This divine union will be like coming home to a place you never knew you needed. The timing, the connection, the peace, it will all confirm that this was God's plan all along. Get ready to enter a phase where everything changes. Doors that were once closed are opening with ease. Delays are turning into divine acceleration. What seemed to stand still will begin to move quickly. And the love that is coming into your life will not only comfort you, but also will activate. This is your harvest season. You're not just attracting a partner, you're entering into a divine covenant, a union filled with purpose, alignment, and supernatural support. This next chapter is about the divine conclusion. The missing piece is being sent not to fix you, but to join you. You will no longer walk alone. Your purpose is being purpose partner. This person will match your energy, your prayers, and will honor the anointing you carry. They don't come to distract you from your mission. They come to build with you. You will recognize her by her spirit, by the peace she brings, and by the way your soul exhales in her presence. This is divine timing unfolding. Do you feel ready for this new phase in your life? We have come to the end of this powerful message. It is time to look at all that has been said and feel the truth settle in your heart. You have heard about a divine time, one special preparation, the arrival of a wealthy and purposeful soulmate, the value of your time alone to grow, the character of who is coming, the certainty that you will not need force this connection, and finally, that your value will be recognized and its prayers will be answered. This isn't just a pretty story. It's your story. It's God's plan unfolding right before your eyes. The seeds you planted with faith and patience are blossoming, and the harvest is ready. Your next chapter starts now. Your journey of isolation and preparation is turning into a celebration of love, purpose, and abundance. The person God is sending is not just a partner, He is a catalyst for your destiny. Someone who will help you reach heights you never imagined. Your union will be a living testament to God's perfect timing, a beacon of hope for all who wait for their own divine alignment. The call to action: connect with your blessing. If your heart resonated with this message, if you felt this truth touch you deeply, know that it is not by chance. You are a chosen, and this is your moment. To continue nurturing this seed of faith and see these promises manifest in your life, I invite you to connect even more with this energy of blessing. Follow the Blessings playlist. On the channel, we have a playlist especially filled with messages like this one, designed to strengthen your faith, lift your spirit, and keep you aligned with God's plan for your life. Each video is a reminder that God is working on your behalf, so that this chain of blessings continues to flow and reach you more and more. One, like this video, your like is a way of saying yes to this blessing and spreading this light to others who also need to hear it. 2, leave your comment, share what touched your heart the most, or the number 77 to seal your readiness to receive all that God has prepared for you. 3, subscribe to the channel. By subscribing, you ensure that you will not miss any new messages and will be part of a community of chosen people who are ready to experience their greatest miracles. Your harvest is ready. Be open, be aligned, and be ready to receive the love, abundance, and relocation that God has for you. Trust, because He is working.